Hiya WD18 Watford fan channel, my name's Lee, I'm part of Newcastle Fans TV, and I messaged Jacob earlier on this week and thought, Jacob, let's get a collab going since both our teams are playing against each other, makes sense. So I'm jumping on Watford's fan channel, so thank you very much for having me. Pop over to our channel, we've already done a video on you guys, the whole video about yous, and also one of the team from this channel will be over there as well, so come on over, normal fan channel, you know. So how do I see this game going? Let me come on to that in a second. Just want to talk about your season and our season and a couple of players to watch out for. So overall, what I make of Watford, when I think of Watford, I think attacking straight away. I think goals, going against and for. You know, I think your season, if you look at how you change your manager, you know, if he's going to go to Everton and he doesn't get the job, and he's been tapped or he's went to Everton, I think it's right that you sack him, because even though we love Rafa Benitez, if Rafa Benitez is talking to a club, allegedly, I do have to stress, if he's talking to another club behind our back, you know, we wouldn't feel very happy about that either. So I can see why. Is Grazia the man to take us forward? I don't believe he is personally. I mean, we on our channel looked at your last 6 fixtures and he's only picked up 2 points from that. That's not good enough. I think it's lucky that he was so high up in the league, because now he's have come down a little bit. He's a safe, of course you are. Like us, we're safe as well. We've gone up the league instead of the other way down. But overall, is he the man to take you forward? I don't believe he is so. And when I look at you, I think of Decore, you know, scored 7 league goals, I think, off the top of my head. Richarlison, I think he's gone off the boil a little bit. I was very surprised he got Delafau. I thought that was a real coup on that right wing. But I haven't really seen much of him. Obviously, I don't watch Watford week in, week out, of course not. But I see the highlights on Match Choice and Match of the Day, of course. But I thought he would do a lot more for you. What's happened to Troy Deeney? You know, he's not first choice striker. Andre Gray, you paid a lot of money to get him in. So, you know, there is improvements, of course, for Watford, and there is for us as well. But I think coming out of Newcastle, if you said to me that we're in May and Newcastle are 10th in the league, you know what it is? I would have bit your hand off. That is mint. Rafa Benitez is absolutely loved up here, and I'm sure you all know that. He's like a god up here. What he does, he gives us hope, and we haven't had hope for well over a decade. 10, 15 years since Sir Bobby was here, and we had amazing time with Sir Bobby going in the Champions League and so on. Now, of course, not for 1 minute that I'm predicting that Rafa's going to do that, because what does Rafa need? He needs tools. Mechanic needs his tools. He hasn't got that. Now, we've got a horrible, horrible owner, and that's me being polite because I'm on someone else's channel, who doesn't put any money in the club. We have to rely on TV money, and because we got relegated a couple of seasons back and we had to sit in the Championship, we didn't have any money to spend this year. The likes of Brighton and Huddersfield have spent more money because they have a lesser wage bill than we've got. Even when we were in the Championship, we were in the top 10 in the wage bill in the whole of the UK, and we're in the lower league. So all in all, it's disappointing, but you've got to look at Kennedy. You know, he didn't do very well at Watford. He's the one player I would pick out. He's impressed massively, and I think you've got to stop him on the ball. I think it's also important that you stop Jonjo Shelvey as well. His form has been great the last 3 months. Dipped a little bit because of the results, but I could probably say that about several players. Dubravka's come in. He's literally changed the way we organise the defence and leadership and the communication. We haven't seen a goalkeeping mistake since he's come in, where the likes of Rob Elliott and Darlow, yeah, the steady Eddie goalkeepers, but they're not going to win you 6 to 9 points per season. Dubravka looks like it is, and he will be a Newcastle player. The deal's set in stone. It just needs to be official. So there's a few, you know, Jamal Lascelles, he's been absolutely fantastic. I think he scored in the, was it the FA Cup when it was a header against you guys? I think he was beat with. It was a towering header and he had a bloody nose. So Lascelles has obviously got personal highlights at Watford, but the last 3 results against you guys, he's have been the boss. He's really savvy. He's have dominated the last 3 or 4 results. So, you know, I talk about the game at St James's Park quite a lot, and I think you guys got massive joy, destroyed DeAndre Yedlin. And Yedlin's been suspect a few times this season, and recently Arsenal scored their goal when we beat them 2-1 at St James's. He was a fault from my eyes. We got beat off Everton, you know, just last week at Goodison on Monday Night Football. He was at fault. You know, you talk about the full-backs, not great. DeAndre Yedlin, I think that's your best chance of success, is targeting Yedlin, because he bombs so high on. Maybe he will be asked, maybe Rafa will rotate, because Rafa has hinted that he might rotate this game. But I think you guys will have that joy from there. I think that's where you can target as well. I think our midfield, and you're probably going to laugh at this, but Mo Diame, what an absolute turnaround in his career. He has been phenomenal, and it's now nice to see the likes of the Sky pundits pick it up and say what a player he has turned, the relationship that he's got with Shelby. So, I mean, there's several players that I can go on about Newcastle, but more importantly, the game itself this weekend. I think there will be goals in it. I'd love to see Newcastle going to win because we've got Spurs and Chelsea next. I know our we're safe now, but we do not want our season to fizzle out. That's not what we wanting. We've had 2 consecutive 1-0 defeats, which isn't great against West Brom in particular. I know they're on a bounce, but I think there will be goals. I think we'll score 2. I think Hughes will score 2. So I'm going to go 2-2 draw. I would love to say that we're going to win because we've got them harder games coming up as well. But overall, you know, squad players, fringe players need to impress because they're playing for their futures. I think there will be a couple of changes as well. But thank you very much for having me on. You know, come over to our channel, like I said. One of the guys will be talking about the fixture coming up this weekend as well. And may the best team win. See you, bye-bye.